podcast that would really like to receive $1 million once a year. We're one Saints fan and one Cowboys fan, one fan of Who Dat and one fan of Dat Win. We're here to give weekly takes, game recaps, bad betting picks, game previews, and the occasional Seinfeld reference.
This week, in honor of Bobby Bonilla Day, we are choosing players who had birthdays on July 1st, who celebrate birthdays on July 1st. With that in mind, our patron saint is Kurt Coleman. Coleman was born in Clayton, Ohio, and he played college football at the Ohio State University. He was drafted in the seventh round, 244 overall, by Brandon's second favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles, in 2010. He would play 4 seasons with Philadelphia. After that, he would sign with the Kansas City Chiefs in 2014, play 1 season there. In 2015, he signed with the Carolina Panthers and made his only Pro Bowl appearance. So that's right. You can use Kurt Coleman as a Carolina Panther Pro Bowl on Immaculate Grid. Coleman would stay with the Panthers through 2017 before being released. Upon his release from Carolina, he signed with the Saints, and he played there 1 season, 2018. And after being released from the Saints, he signed with the Buffalo Bills, where he played his final season in 2019. In his career, Coleman played strong and free safety. He amassed a total of 21 interceptions in 10 seasons, along with 554 career tackles.
Our patron cowboy this week is Don Bishop. Bishop was born in Rawlings, Virginia, and played college football at LA City College as a two-way end before going undrafted in the 1958 NFL Draft. He was signed as an undrafted free agent by the Steelers, who moved him from split end. I guess the Head and Shoulders hadn't quite caught on in Pittsburgh just then, and halfback. He spent his second season splitting time as a defensive back and punt returner before being cut after 2 games. In 1959, he played 1 game for the Bears, who had claimed him off waivers. But on September 6th of 1960, he was claimed by the expansion Dallas Cowboys, who converted him to a full-time quarterback. So that year, he logged 71 tackles, 13 passes defended, and 3 interceptions. The next year, he finished with 8 interceptions in 14 games, including 5 straight games with an interception, which was a team record that stood until 2021. In 1962, he had 6 interceptions and scored a touchdown. I haven't been able to confirm the source of it. So the Wikipedia article says that he returned an interception for a touchdown, but Pro Football Reference has it as a fumble recovery touchdown. So I'm not sure what the actual. I couldn't find any game information for it. So
I wonder if he picked off, quote unquote, like a lateral. So
maybe
technically that's a fumble. Technically that's a fumble, but if I don't
know. He also made the Pro Bowl that year. He was one of the first Cowboys to ever make the Pro Bowl, and even scored a touchdown on a fumble recovery in the Pro Bowl. He had 5 interceptions in 1963 before a knee injury forced him to have surgery before the 1964 season. That surgery would limit him for the rest of his career, which ended after the 1966 season. He finished with 9 seasons played, 6 with Dallas, and 22 interceptions. Fun fact, he also, at one point during the offseason, worked as a mortician's assistant. And I will also add that Go ahead.
In Dallas in 1963?
Huh?
Is that right? He was in Dallas in 1960?
He was. Maybe he worked on John F. Kennedy. Is that what you're implying?
I was gonna ask, does he know who killed Kennedy? That was gonna be my question.
I'm not sure.
What were you gonna say?
Well, as I was reading through his Wikipedia page, I noticed some things were factually incorrect. Like someone hasn't updated his article in a while. And so I went in, and if you go to the Wikipedia page, you'll be reading some of the words of your boy, because it originally said that he finished with 8 interceptions in a season, and it said the only players to do that were Everson Walls and who was the other one? there was one other player, but then I was like, Trayvon had 11 one year, right? And so I went and looked, and yes, Trayvon had 11, and Deron Bland also had 9 one season. And so I went in and corrected that. And it also had said that his record of 5 straight games with a touchdown, it's like that record still stands today. And I was like, no, I was like, wait a second. Trayvon had I think he also had a lot of consecutive games with an interception. He had 6 to start the 2021 season, the season that he had 11 interceptions.
I'm guessing that his page doesn't get visited very often.
Yeah, I'm guessing not, but I have since corrected it. It is now factually correct.
Good job by you, buddy. I'm Paul, the Saints fan.
I'm Brandon, the Cowboys fan.
We're your hosts. Now it's go.
You've been married 3 times.
That's it. It's go time.
We need Izzy. I miss you, Izzy. One of the few shortcomings of going live on YouTube.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. He's always in our hearts where it matters most.
Yep.
All right, so a few housekeeping items here. We're trying something new. We're just recording the normal episode, quote unquote, of the show live on YouTube. So if you're joining us, I didn't check to see if we have anybody in the chat or not, but if you are, appreciate you. It doesn't look like we have anybody. That's okay.
I did tweet out the link, so I just tweeted it out. So
okay, all right. Well, if you are joining us, you want to contact the show, you can do so via email, blessdemboys@gmail.com, BLESSDEMBOYZ. Find us on Twitter at bless_dem_boys. You can find myself at Paul Elliott, PAULELLIOTT_0316. Brandon is at Ball from Grace. We're still also on Blue Sky. You can.
I should let the people know that I did update my Twitter name to Kentavious Chicago Pope. So.
Oh, you did? Yeah, we had to follow up on that because your guy Desmond Bain is no longer in Memphis.
He's no longer in Memphis. He is with He's reunited with Tyus Jones in Orlando.
Remind the good people, what was your name before you changed it?
Desmond Bain and Chiad, based on Desmond Bain and 2 characters from the Wheel of Time.
Okay.
Very, very niche audience there.
Well, it's okay. It happens. So obviously if you're watching this right now, we're on YouTube. You can check us out there. You can also check us out Spotify and Apple. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, leave a rating, review. Appreciate all the feedback. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell the bots. Bots, if you're watching, good to see you.
We welcome our new robot overlords.
We'll get into our I guess we'll talk football a little bit, as we've been mentioning the last couple of weeks. It's slim pickings right now in the football world, stuff to talk about, but
we have one.
We'll get there, but before we do, we have blessed. Okay, yeah, we do. But before that, we here at Bless Them Boys do pride ourselves on being able to discuss other things. So, Brandon, you want to kick us off here?
I can discuss other things. Yes.
You want to kick us off here? What you get up to this week?
It was pretty quiet for me. My wife was dragging the kids to a bunch of functions for them, while I was at home, because it was before I'd get home from work or whatever. But this weekend, my wife and I started watching Severance because she has not seen the show. I've seen the whole series, but she wanted to watch it as well, and since she's got a break right now, so we've made it through season 1 and the first 2 episodes of season 2, I think 2 or 3.
Okay.
So she's enjoying it. She's really she likes it. I also watched The Tragedy of Macbeth, the Cohen, was it Joel Cohen that did that one?
I believe it's Joel. Yeah, I believe it's Joel.
Yeah, so I watched that. So me and my oldest are going to see Macbeth, like the actual play, in next weekend actually. So I watched the movie with her to kind of like get her ready for the Shakespeare type talk. So we did that, and she liked it. You still haven't seen that yet, have you, Paul?
Tragedy of Macbeth?
Yeah.
No, I have not. It's on. It's one of the few Cohen movies I have not yet seen, so it's on the list. It's on the list to.
You need to see it.
Rectify that.
The woman who plays the 3 witches is like I think she's awesome. She's like my favorite part of the movie.
Do you know the actress who?
I can't think of her. She was in. So there's like 3 or 4 people in this movie that were in Harry Potter.
Okay.
So I think she played Arabella Figg, who was like the cat lady that would babysit Harry Potter, when the Dursleys would go somewhere and they didn't want to take Harry with them. So she was in that, and then the other ones are Mad-Eye Moody plays the original king, I think King Duncan, and then the kid who plays the fat Dursley kid, Dudley, is also
yeah.
He's Malcolm. He plays Malcolm, so like the son of King Duncan. It's a lot of Harry Potter crossover, so I'm sure your wife would appreciate that. And then
and I see Frances McDormand plays Lady Macbeth.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. No, it's like I said, it's on. Let me make sure it's on my. You put it on my watch list here on Letterboxd, so that way I'll have it there. It's on. Did you guys watch it on Apple?
Oh, we did. Well, no. Well, my kid and I did, and we had a bootleg copy of it. So, hope I'm not incriminating myself here, but.
Did you get it from Jerry on the street? Was it?
Yeah. So the guy who shot Deathblow was the one who filmed it. I guess for this you would just film it at your house, right? Because that's not a movie that went to theater, right. So he would just be filming his TV screen.
How can you bootleg something that's not? Yeah.
And so the other thing, the only other thing that I've really gotten up to is like my wife is in Austin with our family friends this week, and so I've just been like as background noise, putting on The Office and Rules of Engagement. Which is basically kind of just some of the noise that I'll put on a lot of the time.
You're betraying your Seinfeld roots a little bit there.
Well, David Puddy is in Rules of Engagement, so
yeah, I guess not. That's fair.
So, yeah. What about you, Paul? Before we started the show, you mentioned that you had a DoorDash incident this week. We haven't had one of those on the show in a while.
I did. So I had a DoorDash. I don't even want to call it an incident. It was just something kind of silly. And then I also had an incident with Sonic, but I'll do DoorDash first. So Saturday, wife was out with one of my daughters. They went to Target just to grab some things, and I decided to order food from Walk-Ons, which is a place local to here. It's actually a Louisiana-based, originated in Louisiana.
Is that Drew Brees related? Yeah,
I want to say he advertised for them for a little bit.
Okay.
He might even own a franchise or two.
I was going to say, I
in
thought
Louisiana,
he like
but yeah, had stock in the company. Yeah,
yeah, he was like an investor or something.
Yeah, that sounds right. But anyway, so I get on DoorDash, I order my food, and about 5 minutes after I've finished my order, there's an option to add more items because I remembered there was something I forgot to order. I forgot to order, just one thing, like literally one thing. So I add more items and I add just a side of French fries, right? Well, apparently, DoorDash had already sent a dasher to pick up my first order.
Mm-hmm.
So they sent a completely different dasher to pick up literally just an order of fries.
You got to figure that dasher is like pissed off, is like furious.
Because
this lazy bum can't even go get his own.
I know, right?
Order of fries.
Well, then what's funny is the fries get here first because because I had ordered like an entree and something else in my first order. Excuse me. So that was kind of my incident, I guess. I don't want to. And then Sonic, a wonderful company. This is don't want to sully its good name, but so you know how there's a Sonic app, right?
You go ahead and finish, and then I will sully Sonic's name. Okay.
Okay, fair enough. So you know that you're aware that there's a Sonic app, right? That you can.
There's an app for every
order ahead. Okay.
Every restaurant now.
Right. So I order ahead, and I go to the Sonic right down the street from my house. I go there all the time. And the way it works is you order, and then when you pull up in the stall, you put the number, you check in, and then they bring you your order. Well, the stall I pulled into had a note on it that said that I didn't realize until after I put my number in that said out of order. But when I put my number in, on the screen itself, it said, "Welcome back, Paul," which to me says, they got it. Like they got, we're good. So I'm sitting there and I'm waiting like 10 minutes and nobody's coming out. And there's not like a lot, and like there's nobody in line. There's nobody that did the drive-through. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? So finally I just pulled out, went through the drive-through, and I get to the drive-through thing, and they say, "How can we help you?" And I said, "I have a mobile order." They said, "Okay, pull to the window." So I get to the window, and they said, "What was your name?" I said, "Paul." He goes, "Oh, we don't have anything for a Paul in our system. Give it a few minutes." I'm like, "Buddy, I gave it 15. Like, what do you mean give it a few minutes?" So then the guy I'm speaking to, his coworker overhears this and is like, "Well, what did he order?" And I said, I literally just ordered a drink, like just a Route 44 drink. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I made it. It's right here." And I'm like, "Okay."
What?
So
anyone can.
So can I have it?
Anyone can take the order.
Yeah. Yeah, anybody can take them. But yeah, so that was a little. Like I said, never had that problem before. But so you go ahead. Sully the good name is here. Here goes the sponsorship, Brandon. We're never going to have Sonic sponsors. What was that?
Hold on a sec.
Yeah, okay. We're having some technical difficulties, Phil. Thought Brandon was
some kid is driving around.
I know what was going on there.
Music's too loud. I'm gonna have to tell somebody.
Oh, I thought you were having like
lawn people.
Oh boy!
Get off of my lawn, you stupid kids.
You're gonna have to do like Kramer with those miscreants that were messing with his patio door.
Yeah. Serenity now. Serenity now.
Serenity now. So yeah, go ahead and lose us a sponsor here.
So I will no longer eat like just. If I get anything from Sonic, it's either going to be a drink, or I guess ice cream, probably fine, or something deep fried, because the last couple of times I've had food poisoning from there twice, and
okay.
The last time I got food poisoning was I was driving back from visiting. I was living in Austin. Wife was living. We were just dating at the time. She was in Houston, and so I was coming back from visiting her, and I stopped on the way back. I got some chili cheese tots at the Sonic, and then got back, and then that night got violently ill. And let me tell you, if there's one thing that you do not want to get food poisoning from, it's chili cheese tots, because they do not feel good coming,
gotcha.
The second time.
Right.
And so after that, I was like, I just can't, I'm not risking it again. It's just two times, both. I think one time I actually had to go to the hospital to get an IV because I lost so much fluid.
Wow. Jeez.
So Sonic will not get a lot of my business except for very specific things, and so I tend to avoid it because of that. So
is it safe to say you broke your vomit streak?
I did break my vomit streak. They've broken my vomit streak 2 times.
Yeah. Shout out to Jerry, who's June 29th was the anniversary of his vomit streak on Seinfeld.
There's a hair in my farina. There's a hair in my farina.
The last 2 times I can remember getting food poisoning was I was living in Nacogdoches. I was supposed to go to a football game with some friends that night at SFA, and I went to CC's Pizza for lunch. And buddy, it was bad news. Needless to say, I didn't eat the football game. I just went back home and
you were CCing some pizza again.
I regretted my decision. Much like Anchorman, much like Ron Burgundy when he jumped into the bear pit. I immediately regret this decision. And then the last time I remember was is it Firehouse Subs? Yeah, Firehouse Subs. When we first moved to Katy, where we live, they had just opened a Firehouse Subs not far from us. Mm-hmm. And I would go there and I would always get, I forget what the sandwich is called. It was like a barbecue beef type sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it. And then one day I got it and just did not, it went sideways, and I just could not have it. I was like, nope, no more.
Yep. Yeah. Once you get food poisoning from something, you're you gotta. There's a mental hurdle that you gotta clear to ever have that dish again, and it's really disappointing when it's something you love.
Yep. Absolutely. Anyway,
what else did you get? Other than the food incidents, what else did you get up to?
Man, that took a turn there. A diversion there. So we will talk more about this, later, but the New York Times the top 100 movies of the 21st century. People may have seen on on Twitter. You could actually submit your own ballot. So you can go onto New York Times, submit your 10 movies, and I believe they say that went into the discussion, but who knows? So we'll talk more about that later. I did want to share a few stats with you, if I could, Brandon.
Okay.
Just give me a second. Let me pull this up here. Would you like to take a guess? What director had the most movies on the top 100 list?
Was it Christopher Nolan?
That would be correct. Christopher Nolan had 5 films on the top 100. Those 5 were, very quickly, Dark Knight, Inception, Memento, Oppenheimer, and Interstellar. So, congratulations to him. There were 3 directors who had 4 films. Joel Coen. So they credit Joel Coen with 4, but Ethan Coen with only 3.
Okay.
For some reason. Paul Thomas Anderson had 4, and Alfonso Cuarón also had 4. A couple other notables: Quentin Tarantino had 3. David Fincher also with 3.
Bong Joon-ho had like a couple, 2 or 3 too, didn't he?
He had 2. Bong Joon-ho had 2, but most importantly, he had the number 1 movie, which is Parasite. So he had the number 1 movie, and he also had number 1 and number 99. So it's quite the spread there. Martin Scorsese, only 2 films, which I guess, I guess that makes sense. His 21st century's been,
that's the part of it that really gets him.
Now, to be fair, his 2 films were Wolf of Wall Street, which was number 20, and Departed, which was 31. So I mean, they were in the top half of the.
I would have switched those
list,
movies. So. I liked Departed way more than I liked Wolf of Wall Street. I was not as impressed with Wolf of Wall Street as everybody else was, I think. I think it was a little underwhelming. And that maybe was because, like, going in, everyone talked about it. But me and my wife were both, like, pretty meh on it.
I was happy to see the late, great David Lynch. His film Mulholland Drive got number 2. Which I was surprised by. I didn't think. I thought it would make the list. I voted for it, but I didn't think it would get that high. So I was happy to see that. Would you like to guess the actor with the most films on the list?
Who's in a lot of movies?
It's a movie star. Like it's somebody you would. Like it's not like, some random that guy actor who just happened to be in a bunch.
It's not Leo, is it?
No. So Leo was in 4.
Okay.
The person with the most was in 6. So.
Matthew McConaughey.
No. McConaughey was in. I think McConaughey was only in 1.
Oh, Christopher.
He was
Nolan?
in Interstellar.
Not Christopher Nolan. Christian Bale. I'm just gonna keep guessing Christopher Nolan.
Well, Christian Bale's not a bad guess because, but no, it's not him. I think he was only in 2. I'm looking here. I'll save you some more guesses.
Why don't you just
a gentleman by the name of Brad Pitt.
Oh, gosh. I don't know why I couldn't think of that guy. I got too focused on the Nolan.
Gentleman by the name of Brad. Yeah, so Brad Pitt was in Inglourious Bastards, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Moneyball, 12 Years a Slave, Ocean's 11, and The Tree of Life.
12 Years a Slave?
Yeah, I believe he has a very small role. I've never seen 12 Years a Slave, but
I don't think he was one of the slave characters, though.
No, no, that I would say, yeah. Like I said, I haven't seen that one, but yeah. So, 100 Years, 100 movies. I will tell you. I think of the 10 movies that I submitted, the only two that didn't make the list were Training Day, which I was surprised Training Day wasn't on the top 100. Oh gosh, and I can't remember the other one now. No, well, if I can track it down, I'll let you guys I'll report back next week. But yeah, Training Day was kind of a surprise for me. Denzel, yeah, he had to have at least one movie on the list. Oh well, we'll talk more about that later. Also wanted to mention I found this challenge on Letterboxd. It's called the Criterion Challenge. Are you familiar with the Criterion channel, Criterion Collection?
I'm familiar with the collection.
Okay, so there's a Criterion Collection. There's also a Criterion channel,
and they only play movies from the collection, I assume.
Yes, yeah. So there's an app. There's actually an app, as there is for everything else. But so the Criterion Challenge was, I believe, started by a gentleman named Ben. That's where I found the challenge. So I'm just assuming that he's the one that came up with it. Apologies if that's misinformation. But so Ben put up his 52 categories. So obviously, if you start at the beginning of the year, you watch one movie a week, one for each category, you're good to go. But I started the challenge, and I knocked out my first two categories. So the first category was a film from the Criterion Collection 40 box set, and the movie for me was Night of the Living Dead, 1968, George Romero, kind of one of the first like zombie movies, like mainstream zombie movies. Fun fact about this movie is it was originally named something else, and when they renamed it, they forgot to include the copyright on the name. So it basically became free use or fair use, like upon its release. So you can watch this movie on YouTube free of charge. Like, that's actually how I watched it, was on YouTube. They also have it on like I think I watched, actually, now that I think about it, I watched it on Max, on the Max app. But if you want to, you can also watch it on.
Also, I have read the book Night of the Living Dummy, which is a great Goosebumps book.
Okay, there you go. I remember that one. I remember that from back in the day. And then I watched the second category is you have to watch a film from the year you were born. So I did that, and the movie I watched was Paris, Texas. It was released the year I was born. So if you go look up the year that Paris, Texas was released, you will now know what year I was born. But Paris, Texas is it's a very good movie. It's a little long. It's about 2.5 hours long, but it's the funny thing is it's named Paris, Texas, but they don't actually go to Paris, Texas in the movie. They spend quite a bit of time in Houston though towards the end of the movie. Spoiler alert. But stars Harry Dean Stanton, who's a well-known kind of that guy character actor, but he actually gets to star in this movie, and he does quite well. It's a great performance. I would highly recommend it. I did rewatch, speaking of Christopher Nolan, I did rewatch Tenet, one of his, I think, probably one of his more underappreciated movies.
His most confusing movie, that's definitely it.
Yeah, for sure. This was like the third time I watched it, and I'm kind of starting to understand what happens a little bit, but but it looks and sounds amazing. Like, don't get me wrong.
The stunts are awesome, but it's like the storyline is like hurts me. It hurts. Like I can feel my brain like starting to curdle inside when I try to like think about what's actually happening.
Absolutely, yeah. It's definitely. I every time I watch it, I'll go on like YouTube and find like videos breaking it down, just trying to understand it.
I got a Criterion Collection.
And then I want.
I got a Criterion Collection movie that
So-
you should like try to watch if you can fit it on.
Okay, go ahead. It might be on my list.
Okay, so Night Train.
I don't think I put that. So I actually went through and made my 52 like a list.
Okay.
So let me check. It might be my. Let me check here. Night Train, you said?
Night Train. It takes place in Memphis.
No, I don't think I have that one. Don't think. What year did that one come out?
That's a good question.
So just to kind of go into the list a little bit, there are categories for like decades. So you have to pick a movie from the 20s, the 30s, the 40s. But the conceit is all the movies you pick have to be.
No, sorry. I misspoke. It's Mystery Train.
Mystery Train. Okay, let's see. I don't think I have I don't think I grabbed that one because some of the categories are a little. Is this the Jim Jarmusch?
Yeah.
Movie?
Not related to Jake Jarmusch.
Yeah, yeah.
1989.
1989. Okay. I don't think what was my 80s pick? Because the additional criteria I put on myself is I wanted to watch movies I had never seen before. Obviously, like I don't want to rewatch something. What was my 80s pick here? If I can find it. Let's see. 1980. Yeah, no, that was not my 1980s pick. I don't think I grabbed it, but I'll add it here. Let me do this. I'll add it to my watch list on Mystery Train. Let's see here. Memphis, Tennessee. Over the course of a single night, the Arcade Hotel, run by an eccentric night clerk and clueless bellboys, visited by a young Japanese couple traveling in search for the roots of rock. Okay. Oh, so it's kind of like a all-in-one night type movie?
Yeah. It's like three separate stories, and then they kind of like intersect kind of at this hotel.
Dovetail?
Yeah.
Dovetail? This director's name sounds familiar. What does his name sound familiar? Jim Jarmusch. Now, okay, I will say, because I'm looking at the other films that Jim Jarmusch has directed, I do have one of his films on my Criterion list, and that's Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai, starring Forrest Whitaker. I've never seen it before, so that one's on my list. But no, I'll say, so I have, I'll try to get Mystery Train. Maybe I'll make that my, we had talked about sharing, you giving me a movie to watch, I give you a movie to watch. Maybe I'll make that one for the week.
There you go.
I guess I got to give you one then.
Yeah, and you're going to have to find a recommendation for me now.
Here. While I'm doing this, I do want to mention, I watched, did you see the Running Man trailer that was released?
No. Is this about Forrest Gump?
No, it's not. It's the sequel to it's the sequel to Forrest Gump. Excuse me. So it's a remake of a 1987 movie, I believe. So the 87 movie starred Arnold Schwarzenegger as a wrongly accused and sentenced criminal who's forced to participate in the Running Man games, which is basically they set him loose, and there's these I forget what they call it, hunters basically that chase him and try to kill him. And if he can last so long, then he wins and he gets his freedom. It's based on a Stephen King book that Stephen King wrote under a surname. Richard Bachman.
A pseudonym?
I'm sorry. Yeah, a pseudonym. My apologies.
I think he already has a surname.
He already has a surname. Yeah, he already has a surname. We're live, folks. So
we'll just edit that out.
Richard
We'll
Bachman.
edit that out in post.
Nah, that's okay. I can look like an idiot. I don't care. So under a pseudonym, Richard Bachman, and he wrote a couple books under that pseudonym. In fact, one of the other books he wrote as Richard Bachman is called The Long Walk. That is also being made into a movie this year. It's coming out, I believe, in September. But anyway, back to The Running Man. So the Schwarzenegger version of the movie was kind of completely separate from the book. Like they didn't really follow the book at all.
Uh-huh.
This one, with Glenn Powell as the star, looks like they're following the book a little more, a little more closely. I have not read the book, but I just from what I've heard, what I know about the book, feels like this one's a little more true to the book, I would say.
So Richard Bachman books, he got the
and also
walk.
like.
So with Richard Bachman, you got The Long Walk, and then you got Running Man, and then what's his next work? Something about jogging.
Yeah, there's like two others, but I can't remember. Can't remember what they are, honestly. He had like I want to say, it was like I read this the other day, but I can't remember now. The Long Walk caught my eye because I know that's a movie. The Long Walk is basically like Hunger Games, but it's like you basically keep walking, and if you stop walking, they kill you, pretty much. So, yeah. Okay, so here I'm looking for a movie. Let me see if I can find a movie for you to watch this week. Have you seen the movie L.A. Confidential?
I have not.
Okay. Let me see if it's available easily for. I'm pretty sure it's on. Of course, this is. I'm looking at. Oh, here we go. Services. Let's see. Oh, it's on the Criterion Channel. Now, of course, that's how I watched it. Have you? Okay, if you don't, you may not have the Criterion Channel, but if you don't, have you heard of the streaming service Plex? Plex.
Yes.
It is a free service. It does have commercials, but you can. It is available on Plex. So
okay, I think I should.
I guess I should have checked where Mr. Okay, I guess I should have checked where. I'm just gonna. Let me check something real quick. It might be on YouTube. With commercials. Let me see. LA Confidential. No. Okay, you can rent it on YouTube. It's not I think you'll like it. It's based on, I want to say it's an Elmore Leonard book. No,
okay.
Is it Elmore? Is it Elmore Leonard? It's either Elmore Leonard or who's the other like author that did a lot of those crime noir. Let's see. What is it?
James Ellroy.
Yeah, it's Ellroy. It's the Ellroy. It's based on the James Ellroy book.
Oh, it has Kevin Spacey too from after we just watched Usual Suspects.
So this is it's a very good cast. Kevin Spacey, Russell Crowe. So this is pre-Gladiator Russell Crowe. Guy Pearce, who you may know from Memento. Kim Basinger, Danny DeVito, James Cromwell. It's a very, very good cast. The reason I got confused is because this movie came out the same year as Jackie Brown, the movie Jackie Brown. Which is that's Elmore Leonard, so that's why I couldn't remember. So I will add Mystery Train. I guess I should have checked. I'm assuming Mystery Train's on the Criterion channel if it's part of the. But let's see. Yep, it's on the Criterion channel. Okay. Oh, apparently you can see it. No. So on Letterboxd it said in cinemas, and it's like showtimes, but then it says no screens near you. So sad. But I guess somewhere in America you can go and see Mystery Train in the cinema. So
somewhere.
I'm gonna give me a second. I'm just gonna turn a light on here because I'm in the dark.
All right, and then I think we can after that we can move on to our non-NFL stories of the week. Yeah, let's transition here. Now that we've got a little light going here. Non-NFL. So the Pac-12. Did you see this news? Yeah, they added Texas State.
Pac-12 added.
It looks like the Pac-12 is going to be mostly state teams. Utah State, Texas State. It's I think except for Gonzaga, it's all state teams. Although Gonzaga is non-football, so maybe it's just the football schools that have to have state.
So let's see. We've got Oregon State, Washington State, Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, San Diego State, Texas State, and Utah State. There's your football starting in 26. So not this fall, but the following fall.
They were saying that Memphis should join and go back to being Memphis State.
Yeah, there you go. I saw a map of somebody put a map of Texas, and it said the West and East Coast have never been closer, and it's Texas State and SMU, because obviously Texas State being in the Pac-12, SMU being in the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
Are they in the ACC?
Yeah, I think so.
Or
because they played
yeah. So
Clemson? In the ACC championship.
Oh, right. That's right. Yeah, how quickly we forget.
How quickly.
Or I forget, at least. College football still making sense in 2025.
Of course.
In terms of where teams are slotted and whatnot. So, what else? Oh, the little NBA news here. You go. Good.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say the Bucks decided to eat $113 million of Damian Lillard's contract and stretch it over 5 years. So Damian Lillard will get his money. He will get to leave Milwaukee and probably go to Miami, I assume. And then the Bucks brought in Miles Turner to replace him because that's what Giannis needs to complement him as another center. So this move makes total sense.
Right.
I don't know what the Bucks are doing. What are the odds that Giannis actually sticks around?
Yeah, for sure. At this point, it feels like he's on the way out. Now it's just a matter of is it going to be a situation where they move him before the season starts, or is it a situation where teams just kind of jockey for position leading up to the trade deadline in February or whenever it is during the season to make a push for him? I've heard a bunch of different. I've heard the Rockets maybe still in the Giannis sweepstakes even after trading for Durant.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard the Knicks. Obviously, I've heard. I don't think Dallas has been mentioned.
No, they're working on a deal for LeBron right now.
In those stuff. Yeah, so that was going to be our next topic here. I did see. So I find this interesting. I was watching ESPN earlier, and on the bottom line there, it mentioned that Frank Vogel is going to join the coaching staff for the Mavericks. So find that interesting because didn't Frank Vogel was the Lakers coach most recently, right? Or not too long ago.
Yes.
So
he was
maybe
one of the coaches that LeBron has fired.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe that means LeBron's not going to Dallas. The NBA is really weird right now. Milwaukee's doing that. Boston looks like they're doing like they might be trading Jaylen Brown. I don't. Who knows? Porzingis is gone.
A lot of this
now.
Has to do with like that separate second apron because like the punishments are so severe that like you just can't be above it. So for such a long period, so it's like teams actually have to get under there eventually.
Okay, that makes sense then. Then obviously the Rockets are making the biggest noise with the Durant trade, and they also brought back Clint Acapella.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's criminal that his
I haven't
first
really
name
seen
doesn't
a lot.
start
Has there
with
been
an A?
Right. I mean, did I miss something? Has there been another big NBA move?
I think that's really been it for now.
I did see the Scam Sharania account on Twitter got some folks because they tweeted out that Mike Breen was retiring. Mike Breen, the play-by-play guy. Yeah, and legitimate people who should know better were like retweeting it and like, oh, congratulations on a great career or whatever. But anyway, so that's and then what was the other? There was one other piece of NBA news we want to talk about.
The Grizzlies signed Ty Jerome. I guess to replace Desmond Bane. They got a good deal on him. He will probably get hurt at some point, but he is a decent shooter. I don't know about defensive ability, but he was cheap, a lot cheaper than Desmond Bane. And so, people are pretty excited. I'm sure they'll still be thrilled when he is injured. Jaren Jackson Jr. also hurt now. So that's good.
Hey, did he sign an extension?
He did sign. Yeah, he signed a renegotiate. Okay. He did like a renegotiate and extend. He now has surgery for turf toe.
That's always good.
But they don't even play on turf. That's the thing. They don't even play on turf. What's the problem here?
Shouldn't it be court toe? At that point?
Hardwood toe.
Hardwood toe. Any other NBA or anything? Oh, I should mention the Major League Baseball All-Star teams, I believe, were announced today, right before we started.
Looks like they announced the starters.
They announced the starters. Yes, you're right. They announced the starters. And I'm trying to find a good list here, but I'm having some difficulty.
Neither of our teams has a starter.
Okay. Well, who cares?
Yeah. The big dumper will be starting at catcher.
And will be participating in the home run derby. So
yes, that's correct.
Shout out to Cal Riley.
Cal Raleigh.
Raleigh. Sorry.
Yeah, Raleigh. Like Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah. I should have known that. So it looks like our outfield is 2 Tigers, Riley Green and Javi Baez, and then the other outfielder is Aaron Judge, of course. Our infield, third base is Jose Ramirez from the Guardians. Shortstop, Jacob Wilson from the Athletics. Shout out to the Sacramento Athletics there. Second baseman from the Tigers is Gleyber Torres. And then first base is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Catcher, as we mentioned, Cal Raleigh. And then the DH will be Ryan O'Hearn from the last place Baltimore Orioles.
Sure.
So in the National League, here we go. Former Astro Kyle Tucker starting in the outfield. That's good. It's good to see. Mm-hmm. The other outfielder, it just says PCA from the Cubs. Is that
Pete Crow Armstrong? Is that... Yeah, Pete Crow Armstrong.
Okay, that's right. Okay, thank you. And then the other outfielder is Ronald Acuna from the Atlanta Braves. Third base, Manny Machado from the Padres. Shortstop, Francisco Lindor from the Mets. Second base, is it Cadell Marte?
Cattell.
Or Cattell? Cattell
Not
Marte.
Kettle. Not Kettle.
From the Diamondbacks, first baseman, not Kettle. Well, I knew that, but and then first baseman Freddie Freeman from the Dodgers. Catcher, keep his wife's name out of your mouth, Will Smith. And DH Shohei Ohtani. And the pitchers will be announced later. So there's your. I could feel like I'm a somewhat learned baseball fan, even though I haven't watched much baseball at all this year. So.
I wonder if DeGrom will get a chance to be the starter. I feel like he's got a shot.
Yeah, he might. I don't know if any Astros are going to make the team. I think.
I think so. I think you have to have at least one, don't you? Everybody gets one.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. I think Puertas has a good chance. Isaac Puertas. He's had a pretty good first half. I mean, Altuve obviously is the obvious choice, but by the way, Jose Altuve now tied with Jeff Bagwell for the most hits in Astros history. Of course, a ways to go before he catches Craig Biggio, but the Astros are currently in Colorado. Shout out to my guy Donnie, the Broncos fan. I don't think he wants to be called Donnie the Rockies fan at this point. So
I don't think anybody wants to be called the Rockies
fan. That. All right, so we'll move on to NFL news. Do you want to start with the Cowboys?
Yeah, there's not really, I mean, other than like some training camp stuff. There's supposed to report that Parsons and the Cowboys are like have a decent framework on a deal, but the sticking point is I think the Cowboys want to sign him to 5 years and Parsons wants to sign for 4. That's pretty much the sticking point at this point. So like my bet is that a deal gets done before the season. So it just seems like they're hammering that out. What about the Saints, Paul? It looks like you got some really exciting stuff going on at the quarterback position.
So Parsons is going to get his deal done before the first day of the season?
That's my expectation.
Okay. Yeah, so the Saints, not a whole lot of news, but I did see a rumor going around on the Twitter machine that they might be trading for Kenny Pickett. I mean, you know, it's slow news right now. People are just looking for something to talk about. I mean, listen, the Kenny Pickett thing would make sense. He and Kellen Moore obviously were together with the Eagles last year, but I've been on record as saying it needs to be Rattler or Shuck, and just go from there.
Yeah, that's that's the part of it that doesn't make sense to me. Is like if those guys are already so bad that you like want to bring in Kenny Pickett, like that doesn't sound encouraging.
Which Cesar Ruiz, one of the offensive linemen, was on NFL Network last week or the week before, and he was basically saying like both guys have shown up and are doing well, and there's a good competition. So I know Cam Jordan made some noise a couple weeks ago because he was saying they need to trade for Jameis. No, we don't. I mean, unless there's an injury, like that's the only caveat I'll say. If somebody if Shuck gets hurt or Rattler gets hurt, then all bets are off. But right now, just let those two, fight it out for who's gonna be your quarterback. I will say, Mina Kimes on her show did a ranking of all 32 teams, and I believe she had the Saints dead last. So, that's where we are. But I mean, look, I'm not mad at it. That's what that feels right. Just waiting to see. So they did announce 3 weeks. I believe it's 3 weeks from today. The Saints will kick off training camp, the 23rd of July. And then we should mention, Brandon, 4 weeks from tomorrow, July 31st, we will have NFL football. It will be the Hall of Fame game, Chargers and Lions. So
there we go.
We're getting there, buddy. We're
almost there.
We're getting close. And then I believe the Hall of Fame ceremony will be that weekend. So they'll play the game on Thursday, and then Saturday will be the actual ceremony. What else we got in the rest of the NFL here? Do you want to talk about this big Dolphins-Steelers trade?
Yeah, we can do that. So what do you think about this? Because I guess this is like, because you're trading for if you're the Steelers, you're trading for Jalen Ramsey, so you're getting older at the position intentionally.
Yep.
I guess this is just like another, like the Steelers are just going to keep going into this like one year window thing. Like, I guess that's, and then you add, I guess Jonnu Smith, like,
that's what it looks like. I mean,
season 2, like Jonnu Smith is like another just like yak guy, right? Just kind of a guy you try to get the ball to, and then hope he can pick up something after.
Yeah. So the Steelers. So I think of the two teams involved, to me, the Steelers have a clearer path of what they're doing. The Dolphins seem like, I don't know. The Dolphins feel a little like we knew they were going to trade Ramsey, like that was inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
But like throwing in Jonnu Smith and then saying like, okay, we got to not, and then convincing Darren Waller to come out of retirement so that they could trade for him. That doesn't seem great. That doesn't seem ideal. And then Minkah Fitzpatrick goes back to Miami after he was traded. So, like, I don't know. It just – you and I have been questionable about the Dolphins anyway this offseason in terms of, like, how they're going to look this year. This doesn't make me any more confident. I'll put it that way. Like, McDaniel's definitely on the hot seat, and we'll see how all this goes. But
I don't know.
But yeah, for the Steelers, it's
for
the Steelers, it's all or nothing at this point, right?
Yeah, I don't know that this really moves the needle for me on the Steelers either. Like I told you, like if you asked me, like so if the like median expected outcome for the Steelers is 9-8. If you ask me, are they more likely to go like 13-3 or 13-4, or bottom out and hit 6-11 or something? I would say that it feels more likely that the like failure, like if I had to place a bet, I would lean more toward them like having a bad season and things finally going off the rails under Tomlin, which has never happened, than them actually like exceeding any sort of like expectations to the positive. That's just me though. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. I was trying to pull up real quick to see if I could find their win totals to see what I did, because I want to say
I did see that the Steelers' Super Bowl odds didn't move. Like this did nothing to their Super Bowl odds. So from that perspective, it was a big fat nothing.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
you do all this for that. Let's see, Steelers. Okay, 8.5 is the number on rebet.
Okay.
So you would probably go under there.
Probably so, yes.
Yeah. I will say, and again, I don't want to give away too much, but in going through my exercise of picking all the games, which we'll talk more about when we get to our divisional previews in August. Steelers' schedule, it's not, it ain't bad. I mean, like, it's not like they have like a murderer's row of teams here to play. So, well, I mean, you get to play Cleveland twice, so that's not bad, right?
But then you also have to play the Ravens and the Bengals both twice.
That's true. That's not ideal, but yeah. And I think they play the NFC. Who's their NFC? Oh, they do play the NFC North, so that's tough.
Yep.
You got to play the Vikings and the Packers and the Bears and the Lions. We get a Steelers Lions. That's a Charlie Batch.
Oh yeah, the Charlie
Bowl,
Batch
I
game.
believe. Charlie Batch game. All right. Anything else NFL related we wanted to?
Yeah, I didn't want.
There?
I don't want to spend like too much time on this because
okay.
someone on ESPN got some of the based on the AJ Brown. Tim McManus put together based on the AJ Brown playoff storyline. Put together a reading list of some of the books that current NFL players are reading.
Okay.
The ones that I wanted to hit, each of our teams each had one player that had a book that they were currently reading. So the Saints player here is Foster Moreau, tight end.
Yep.
And he is reading The Comfort Crisis. What is it? The Comfort Crisis. Embrace discomfort to reclaim your wild, happy, healthy self.
He's going to need that for the Saints season.
Yeah. The Cowboys player who was selected was Trent Sieg, who is the long snapper, and his book was The Camel Club, which is by novelist David Baldacci, and
I know that name. I know that author.
Yeah, I'm not. It seems like they're political watchdogs who are always looking for conspiracies within the government. So,
Oh, okay. Light reading.
We may need to ask Mr. Sieg where he was on January 6th, 2021, based on this. I'm just
okay. So
just joking there, but
so David Baldacci wrote a book called Zero Day, which I think is what they used for the Netflix show.
Oh,
they maybe not.
Yeah, he seems like a political thriller kind of writer. That seems like his.
Yeah, I could have sworn that I've read one of his books.
Yeah, the name is like he has a very familiar name, right?
Yeah, he's definitely one of the readers that or one of the authors, excuse me, that you see in like if you're in the grocery store and you go into like the book section,
Yes.
You'll see his books. Him and like Tom Clancy, and
Yep.
Yeah. Before we move on, Brandon, I'm just gonna step aside for a second.
Okay, I'll just hang out here.
Yep. Give me 1 second.
We'll give you some updates on scores as we wait here. The Rangers currently at home against the Orioles, leading 6-0. Paul's Houston Astros in the top of the 6th, tied with the Rockies 2-2. I'm hoping the Rockies can pull off the upset there. Yankees trailing the Blue Jays in Toronto 9-11. Cubs leading the Guardians in Chicago 5-3. Kansas City 1, Seattle nothing. They're in the bottom of the 2nd. At the end of 2, San Francisco Giants lead the Arizona Diamondbacks 2-0. The Chicago White Sox in Los Angeles currently in the top of the 1st with the runner on 3rd. Nothing early, still early there. Some scores that have gone final. The Athletics lost 5-6 to the Tampa Bay Rays in Tampa Bay. The Pirates continued their hot streak. They beat the Cardinals 5-0. The Red Sox beat the Reds 5-3. And the Braves beat the Angels 8-3. Paul, I was just doing some baseball scores while you were gone.
All right.
Fill time.
Yeah, that's great. Great job by you. I heard the Astros are tied with the Rockies. That would be that'd be less than ideal to lose to the Rockies. But
I'd appreciate if they would do that, Paul.
What's the Astros? How they're up? How many games in the? 7 games up in the AL West. Wow.
The Rangers still holding on to that second best run differential in the division, though. Yeah, the Rangers.
Well, I do know the Astros are on
they're on a hot streak.
Well, no, the Astros are on like a 9-game home winning streak, I want to say, or something like that.
The Rangers, like, their expected win-loss is 46-40, but they're like 4 games behind that. And the Astros expected win-loss is 48-37. So this would be much closer if the run differential is right.
Sorry, the Astros did have a 9-game home winning streak at one point, but they lost to the Cubs over the weekend. So, yeah, that was the game that former Astro Kyle Tucker, I think, hit a 3-run homer or something.
That's a shame.
Something happened. Yeah, I figured you'd be disappointed. All right, buddy, you want to play Immaculate Grid?
Yeah, let's go. You ready to? So we're going to draft. We do fill a draft.
Oh, yeah.
Ball. Get out of here! We got a booth. All right, let me pull up the Google coin flipper.
Who needs clips when you're just gonna?
Yeah, I'll just do that.
You'll just do.
We'll do it live. All right.
So the draft. So the draft we're gonna do after we play Immaculate Grid.
Correct.
Is we mentioned the New York Times top 100 movies of the 21st century. Mm-hmm. So Brandon and I, and I'm confirming this with you right now, Brandon. We're going to draft 4 each, right? Just like Correct. We normally do. But we can only draft movies that are on the list that we have not seen.
Yes.
So we're kind of making our own watch lists, if you were. Now,
yeah. So
for the record,
I have more to choose from here.
Right. So for the record, I had 59 that I have watched. Now, just to litigate here a little bit. If you go on my Letterboxd, I don't have all 59 of those films rated or reviewed. Like, I'm trying to think of an example here. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was one. Where, I've seen it, but it was years ago. But I definitely have seen it. So I had 59 watch. What was your number, Brandon?
27, I think.
Okay. So we will be drafting films that we have not seen, but we'll get to that in a minute. But in order to figure out the order here, let's fire up everybody's favorite game, Immaculate Grid. We are playing grid number 714. right? Is that right, Brandon?
Yep,
the one
that's
we got?
correct.
Okay, that's today's grid. And we got a new category here, which is exciting. So our rows, if you want to follow along, our rows are Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland Browns, New England Patriots, and our columns are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Miami Dolphins, and a new category, 20 or more passing touchdowns in a season, which I think we've seen before. We may have come across this category already, but it's relatively new to the grid world. So
yeah, I don't think we played one live with this one on it.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think so. But oh wait, was this the one where the audio got lost?
I think so. Probably so.
Probably. No. So just to be clear, I'm on a 2-game winning streak in terms of what people have heard, but I'm technically on a 3-game winning streak.
Right. But there's no evidence.
I will not be silenced. I will not be silenced. Okay, so you want to flip a coin here, figure out who's going to go first?
All right, call it.
Tails never fails, except when it does.
Oh, it's actually tails this time.
Hey, it worked this time. All right, so I'll go first. I guess I should have thought about what I was going to pick before I did that. And by the way, for the folks at home, we are playing our normal rules, which is low score wins.
Yep.
We're not doing bizarro rules here. So just to be clear, there. Ooh, I got a hunch, fat man. I can't miss. Let's see. Okay, never mind. I had somebody. I was like, oh, I think they threw 20 touchdowns, but they did not. Not even. I'll tell you who it was here in a minute. Nope, that one didn't either. Okay. All right, let's go with upper right. So we'll go Steelers, 20 or more passing touchdowns.
Okay.
So let's see. I think I got a hunch here. Ooh, yeah. All right, we're gonna go with an immaculate grid favorite of mine, at least. Bubby Brister.
Okay.
Oh, not Bunny Brister. Bubby Brister. Let's see. And that gets us 2% to start off.
Okay, I've only got one over here that I think will be that won't blow up the score. So I'm just going to go with him. I'm going to go with Tommy Maddox. 7%.
That was going to be my other. Your choices really are like Roethlisberger, Bradshaw, Cordell Stewart, Ed Brown. Well, I don't even know who Ed Brown is. Jim Finks, Bobby Lane. Those are your. So all right. So point for me there. Yep. Brandon, you get the next selection here.
All right, I'm going to go with the Patriots 20 pass TD season, and I'm going to take the Babe. Babe Parilli.
Oh yeah,
Babe Parilli is 0.6%.
Oh, Babe Parilli. I was like, yeah, we're not. I don't think I'll give it the old college try. But I don't think we're gonna top that.
Babe Parilli, also a Super Bowl champion with the Jets, so you don't have to use Joe Namath if that ever comes up.
Oh, thank God. The only other name that would even have a chance, or I think, I'll go Steve Grogan.
Okay.
What was yours? 0.7?
0.6.
0.6? Yeah, 5% for Steve Grogan. So
gotcha.
You could have also done Mac Jones.
Yeah.
His rookie year.
Matt Castle.
Matt Castle. Somebody named Tom Brady. Drew Bledsoe. I see a name here, Butch Sungin.
Is that like Butch Cassidy and the Sungins kid?
Yeah, right. This is in 1960, and he was playing for the Boston Patriots back then.
That Babe Parilli is also Boston Patriots.
Just to tell you how long ago that was. There you go.
All right, tied at 1, Paul.
All right, the turn. Tied at 1. All right, so let's finish out that column. Let's go Cleveland Browns. Oh, this is going to be a poop show. Cleveland Browns, 20 or more touchdowns. Our due respects to all the fine
that place is
fans of the Cleveland Browns. Yeah. Oh boy.
Just so you know, Colt McCoy did not pass for 20 touchdowns.
You don't say. That's a shame. But Oklahoma Sooner Baker Mayfield did. Huh,
he
interesting.
did.
I'm going to go. I'm not going Baker Mayfield. I'm going to go Brian Sipe.
Okay.
Oh, geez, 11%. Oof.
Okay, I'm gonna take a shot with the oldest quarterback I can possibly think of.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Ottoman Empire, Mr. Otto Graham.
Otto Graham.
Otto Graham is 6%.
Oh, are you kidding me?
There we go.
How does?
I'm actually surprised that Sipe
who makes
is
it
more than.
First of all, who has an empire about
propping your feet up?
Furniture.
Yeah,
propping your feet up. Second of all, man, that Otto Graham is in the Hall of Fame, for God's sakes. Is he not?
Yeah, he is.
I'm pretty sure Brian Sipe is not. Yeah, Otto Graham is in the Hall of Fame.
Otto Graham was a quarterback who wore the number 60, Paul.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to.
All right.
So it's my turn.
Your turn.
My turn, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go.
So we're down to only.
Sorry.
Only have teams left here. No more. No more categories.
Okay. I'm going to go with the two teams that just completed the big NFL trade this week. I'm going to go with the Steelers and the Dolphins.
Oh, good job by Immaculate Grid there.
Yeah, I'm going to use a former Cowboy. I'm going to use
of course
Taco Charlton, 0.2%.
Oh, former Saint too. No, wait, did he play for the Saints? Yeah. Hold on.
No, he may have been on a practice squad, maybe.
He was, we signed him to the practice squad and he never got to play. That's what it was.
That sounds about right.
Let me see. New Orleans Saints, August or April 5th, 2022. They signed him. They released him in August, signed him to the practice squad, and that was it. And then he signed with the Bears in November. So Bears signed him off our practice squad so before he could play. All right. Okay, so well, we've got a couple extra options now, I guess. Well, not technically not because season hasn't started.
Minka Fitzpatrick would still work, though.
It would. How much was Taco? How much did Taco get?
0.2.
Yeesh. Feels like the tide has switched back to you, sir. I'm going to go with I think this guy went to the University of Louisiana Lafayette, or he may have gone to U of H. I can't remember. Landon Roberts. 0.5%.
All right. I'm now up 3-1.
So what Taco was 0.2?
0.2.
Taco was 0.2?
Mm-hmm.
0.2. Yeah, Landon Roberts. He went to U of H. Okay, well, I got 0.5, so at least that's respectable.
That's respectable.
Is it my turn?
It is your turn. You're up. I'm up 3-1 right now.
All right. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's go Patriots and Buccaneers. Obviously, a couple of obvious choices here, but I will steer away from those.
You're not gonna go with.
I'm gonna go with
in the Jets.
I'm gonna go with a University of Iowa Hawkeye legend, Adrian Claiborne.
Okay.
0.1%. I'm back, baby.
All right, I'm going to take my shot here with another former Cowboy, Mr. Joey Galloway. 0.8%.
Oh man, that's even low. Like I was like, okay, if Joey Galloway gets less than Adrian Claiborne, I'm going to quit. All right, it's 3-2.
3-2, and I am up. I'm going to go to the square right above that.
Okay.
Paul, you guessed it. I'm going to use another former Cowboy. Not.
Billy Cundiff did not play for the Patriots. You can't use him.
Not Antonio Brown, but Antonio Bryant.
Okay.
0.5%.
All right. I'm going to stick with the, what was it, 0.5?
0.5.
I'm going to stick with the University of Iowa. Okay. Shtick here. I'm going to go with Carl Davis.
Okay.
Wait. What? Why did that not? Oh, wait. You did. Hang on.
Did you do?
We're
Carlton
doing
Davis?
Tampa and Cleveland. Wait, we're doing Tampa and Cleveland.
Tampa and Cleveland.
I messed up. I thought we were doing. I got my wires crossed there. Hang on.
You got to open up a private browser on your phone.
Right. I could go Adrian. I could have gone Adrian Claiborne here, but I can't do that. Sorry. Give me a second. Just 1 second. Gotta.
We are currently.
I gotta retool here. Okay,
technical difficulties.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I had a very, very big technical difficulty. Okay, so remind me again who you picked for the score.
Antonio Bryant.
Antonio Bryant, and what was the score?
0.5.
0.5. Okay, so I'm going to go with another favorite of mine, Eric Zaire. 0.2%.
We're all tied up now.
All right. As God intended. All right, give me a second here to regroup myself. It's my turn, right?
It is your turn.
It's my turn to pick. So I guess we can finish that column.
Okay.
So we did. So we'll do Pittsburgh and Tampa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Pittsburgh and Tampa. I mean, speaking of Antonio Brown, excuse me. We could use Antonio Brown here.
That is correct.
I feel like that would be a
Probably a large.
That score would be.
If we were playing Bizarro, that would probably be the one you want.
I would say so. I'm going to go. Oh, I can actually use a Saints legend here. Fred, don't call me Pat McAfee. And I got 0.05%.
Okay. I'm going to go with another Cowboy here. Thomas Everett, two-time Super Bowl champion Thomas Everett, 0.09%.
Oh, wow. That was close.
That was close.
All right, so I take a lead, right?
Yes. All right, we're going to go.
Okay, and hang on, we have 2 squares left?
2 squares left.
Okay.
All right, bottom center. Another former
Patriots, Dolphins?
No, wait, who was it? He wasn't. I don't think he was drafted in the first round, actually. I think he was a second-round pick. Oh, no, he was a first-round pick. Mr. Bobby Carpenter.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Another Ohio State alum. No, wait.
Yes, he was.
Was? Okay.
0.02%, Paul.
For Bobby Carpenter?
Yep.
Yeesh. Okay. Well, shout out to Bobby, wherever he is. You know what? I'm just going to go with hopefully a future Saint legend, Devon Gottschall, who the Saints just traded for. I imagine this is going to be a little bit high, but I don't think I can beat 0.02% anyway. So 0.5%. That's not bad. Mm-hmm. All right, final. So we're tied, right?
Yep.
Is this the first time we've been tied going into the last?
I think so. We've usually wrapped it up by now. This is the closest we've had.
All right, so Dolphins Browns to decide. It's exciting. If you're joining us live, thank you for joining us. This is exciting here. Well, I mean, for some people maybe it is. I don't know. Dolphins Browns. Oh, I know where I'm going here. I'm going to go with. It's not the basketball player. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I thought you would do that.
And the score is 0.4%.
Okay. That's who I probably would have gone with there.
And for the record, my total score is 20. Now, I shouldn't even say this, but what you could do, Brandon, if you think your total score, well, no, if you concede, then I win the square. So then never mind. Yeah, then I just win. Never mind. I was gonna say you could just concede, and then we tie. But yeah, no, that won't work.
Okay, I'm gonna try one guy who was a former Patriot.
Former Cowboy?
No, not a former Cowboy this
time.
Patriot. I don't think this guy will beat your Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but I'm going to go with brother of Devin, Jason McCourty.
Okay.
Survey says, what was your score?
0.4%.
0.3.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. 0.3. I didn't expect that to work. I figured McCourty because
for who? For Jason?
Jason McCourty. Oh, I wonder if so Jason McCourty also played for the Patriots. So if people used him for Patriots Dolphins instead.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would have been. That's probably why. So people were probably using him for. I wonder if I can see. Hold on. Let me pull up.
So I'm looking at the summary here. I'll go through the most popular.
Well, Jason,
you could probably guess most of them.
Jason McCourty for the Patriots Dolphins was 1%. So,
oh man. So, for just for the record, my overall score was 20. What was your overall score?
16. That was all. That was
okay, so you would have won there.
The autogram box is what did that.
So the most popular guesses: Steelers Bucks was Antonio Brown. Yep. Steelers Dolphins Minkah Fitzpatrick. Mm-hmm. Steelers 20 or more touchdowns Ben Roethlisberger. The Browns Bucks Baker Mayfield. Browns Dolphins Jarvis Landry. Browns 20 or more touchdowns Baker Mayfield. This might be surprising. Patriots Bucks most popular was Gronkowski, not Brady.
That's surprising.
Patriots
actually.
Dolphins was Wes Welker.
Oh no.
Patriots Dolphins was Wes.
Everyone used Brady for the 20 touchdown passes.
Yeah. Brady was the most popular for 20 touchdown passes. Yeah. So I guess it's not that surprising.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I cannot, man.
I can't believe that actually happened. That was like that's the best one we've had.
Right up to the end, man.
I know.
You know, when you said the name, I was like, ooh, this might be close. Because yeah.
I figured it would be like, just under 1, like a 0.9 or something if it was, or like maybe like 1% flat.
Yeah. All right. Well, so that means you get the first pick in our draft here. And again, we are selecting films from the top 100 New York Times list of the top 100 of the 21st century, but we can only select films we have not seen. So,
correct.
Actually, I'm glad you're picking first. That gives me a chance to get set up here. So
Well, I already know this is a simple pick because it's on my watch list. My wife and I are actually planning to watch it very soon. And it is also the number one movie on the list. It's Parasite.
Phenomenal film.
Which you have seen. Film. So this was not eligible for you. So this was an easy. I could have waited until the last round to get this one, technically.
Yeah, no, because I couldn't have drafted it. This is one of I only watched it within the last year or so. Mm-hmm. And I had always heard how good it was, and I don't want to overhype it because I don't want to, but it's really good, man. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Okay, so I get 2 picks now, right?
That is correct.
We're doing the snake fashion. Okay, so I will take with my first pick. So this is a little lower on the list, but kind of like you, I'm already planning to watch it because it is on my Criterion Challenge. I've put it on my Criterion Challenge list. Mm-hmm. And it's a film called Punch Drunk Love.
Okay.
It's a Paul Thomas Anderson film starring Adam Sandler. Heard good things. This was kind of Sandler's first serious role, I believe. I actually don't know much about it, honestly. Let me see. Here's the synopsis here. A socially awkward and volatile small business owner meets the love of his life after being threatened by a gang of scammers. Okay, so sounds. I actually also am wanting to watch all of Paul Thomas Anderson's films. He has a new film coming out in September with Leo. It's called One Battle After Another. So that'll fit in nicely there. And then for my second pick, I'm going to pick something in the top. So there's 3 movies in the top 10 that I have not seen. Well, sorry. There's 2 movies. There's 3 I have not logged on Letterboxd, but one of them I have actually seen. That is the but I don't want to mention it. I don't want to mention it in case you're going to pick it. But I'm going to pick one of the 2 I have not seen. I definitely have not seen, and that'll be Moonlight.
I've not seen that either.
Yeah, won the Oscar for Best Picture. Barry Jenkins.
That was the one with the La La Land mix-up, wasn't it?
Correct. Yeah, that was the La La Land mix-up. So so I'll go Punch Drunk Love and Moonlight for my first 2 picks. Actually, you know what? I'll just go ahead and tell you the film in the top 10 that I have not logged on Letterboxd, but I have seen it. Is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
I've seen that.
So
one of our few crossover.
I thought you may have, but I didn't want to. There you go. There you go. So I guess I do need to rewatch it just so I can
rate it,
log it.
That was a movie that I was a little underwhelmed with.
Rate it.
All right.
I honestly don't. I mean, I remember seeing it, but I don't remember what my thoughts were on it. You know what I mean? Like I don't.
Couldn't have too much of an impression.
Yeah, maybe it's good that I'll rewatch it.
All right, so I've got 2 picks.
Right.
The first one I'm going to go with is a movie that my cousin raved about when it had come out. Number 15, City of God.
This is also one I have not seen.
Oh, see, that's actually a good pick for me then.
But I've heard good things about it. So
I've heard it's supposed to be a pretty, I guess, kind of harrowing. I would say
intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take a movie that I like. Definitely is like I'm mad at my. There's some movies that you're like I haven't seen this, and you're like actually mad that you haven't taken the time to sit down and watch it. So this is one for me. Also in the top 5, number 3, There Will Be Blood.
Oh,
that is like
man, a wonderful movie.
That's one that I know.
Paul Thomas Anderson movie. Yeah,
I'm just like mad at myself for not seeing it.
I'm really interested to see what you feel about that one. Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't like one of the other movies on here where there's a few movies on here where I would qualify them as didn't see it, don't want to see it.
Must miss,
exactly.
Man. Okay, so you got your 2 picks there.
Yep, you're up. You got your 3rd and 4th picks.
3rd and 4th picks. Okay. Let's see here. I will go with. Okay, I'm going to go with a movie directed by the guy who directed Anora, Sean Baker. Number 74. It's called The Florida Project.
I remember seeing the preview for that. It looked really good.
Stars Willem Dafoe. That's all I really know about it is Willem Dafoe's in it. And obviously Sean Baker just won the Oscar for Anora, so interested to see that one. And then for my last pick, by the way, I'm just going to say this. I got a good chuckle out of Borat being on this list.
Borat was so good. Me and my friends went to see that movie. I remember an older couple walked out at one point. and like
Yeah.
we were, because it came out when we were in college, and we would watch the Ali G show, and like that movie was like we were rolling like
Yeah.
tears of laughter. That I think that and I think it was Jackass 3 that we saw in theaters. Like those are two movies that like I actually like laughed until it like hurt in the theater.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. For that to be number 53 is bravo to Sacha Baron Cohen for that. Okay. What else am I going to see here? You know what? I'm going to go with another film that is on my Criterion Challenge list, and that is Anatomy of a Fall. I put this on my Criterion Challenge. It's under the category. I think I put it under the category of movie from Europe, if I'm not mistaken. Let me get the exact category here. Yeah, movie from Europe, because it came out of I forget what country it came from. Was it France? Yeah, France. Yeah, it's a French film. Did you see this one, Anatomy of a Fall?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I did see
Yeah,
another.
but yeah, so that
I did see Amelie.
Okay, I haven't seen that one. I need to.
I will warn you going in. It starts with a scene where there is giving birth and they show it. So just like a heads up, if you're
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So my wife and I were because she had seen it before and she loved that movie, and so like we had ordered food in and we're like watching it like just kind of a like date night, and so like we're sitting in front of the TV and I was like eating, and then I like looked at her. I was like, a little heads up would have been nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's tough, especially
the marinara sauce was not as appetizing. All right, so I've got one more pick. So there's two that I'm looking at here. One is a I think it's a Rochelle type situation from what I've heard of
it. Okay.
So that's Y Tu Mama Tambien. Have you seen that one?
I have not seen that one either. That one's also on my have not seen list.
But
yes, I have heard the same thing. But
yeah, it seems very Rochelle. So I'm gonna pick that one just because you haven't seen it either, and so the other one that I haven't seen was The Social Network. I've seen like that's one of the movies where I've seen like I've seen a lot of it like in segments, but I never like have seen the whole movie all the way through.
So that's appropriate because there was news this week. They are working on The Social Network 2.
Is that about Twitter?
Or
X?
No, it's still about Facebook, but apparently I can't remember what the source. So the original Social Network was written by Aaron Sorkin, who also wrote A Few Good Men, The West Wing, those things. Yeah. But it was directed by David Fincher, who directed Seven and Fight Club and those kind of things. The Social Network 2 is going to be written and directed by Aaron Sorkin. So Fincher is not coming back for this one.
Speaking
from what I've heard.
Speaking of Fight Club, by the way, I just finished rereading. So the author who wrote Fight Club also had like he's written a bunch of books, but the other one that I like really liked when I was like reading his books was called Invisible Monsters, And so I actually went back. It had been since college since I'd read that book, and so I was like, I want to go back and reread this at some point. And so I finally did that over the past couple of weeks. So if you ever get a chance, that book has a lot of twists. So I would recommend that book to you, Paul, if you got some time. It's also it's not a super long read either.
Did they make that into a movie?
I think there were talks at one point to make it, but it never got made into anything.
So there's a movie. I'm just looking on Letterboxd. There's a movie called Invisible Monsters and Tomato Soup. But this is like a 5-minute film.
I don't think that's it.
So I doubt that's it. And then everything else is. There's a movie called The Invisible Monster from 2019. That's only like 30 minutes long. Here's another one, Invisible Monster, but this is like a little over an hour long. So
apparently
it's from Japan.
So there have been multiple attempts to make it into a movie, and there's been a screenplay written, but it's never actually never been,
right,
put into production, basically.
Gotcha. Well, you want to recap our picks here real quick?
Yep, I went first due to my win with a point.
You did,
Jason McCourty. So I took Parasite, City of God, There Will Be Blood, and Y Tu Mama Tambien.
Yep. Yeah, and I took Punch Drunk Love, Moonlight, The Florida Project, and Anatomy of a Fall. I do want to mention real quick. So you were your last pick? Social Network was the one.
Social Network was the other.
Were there any other ones? Were there any other ones that you hadn't watched that you were contemplating?
I think I got a lot of the ones that I'm mostly interested in. I'm only mildly interested in something like Her or Phantom Thread. That's kind of a must miss for me.
Yeah.
Bridesmaids is another one that I never actually watched all the way through, and was a very had really good reviews.
So that's one I recently rewatched it, and I was I just get tickled anytime these like Superbad at number 100. That's pretty good. Bridesmaids, obviously Borat we talked about. I think there were only 2 animated features on the list: WALL-E and Up.
No, Spirited Away.
Which I've seen both of those.
Spirited Away.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Spirited Away. Yeah, that's a wonderful film. Spirited Away. I saw that for the first time recently.
I'm going to be honest. I thought WALL-E sucked. That movie's garbage.
The summer that WALL-E came out in theaters was the summer I worked at the movie theater. So I saw the end of WALL-E quite a bit because we'd go in to clean the theater after the movie was over. So that, and there was that Peter Gabriel song at the end of it. So yeah. So we had animated. We had Spirited Away, which wonderful film.
Mm-hmm.
We had WALL-E. Was there another one? And then Up. Up is really good. I probably would have put Up ahead of. It is, but I probably would have put Up ahead of WALL-E, honestly.
Did you?
Ratatouille
was also. Did you see The Hurt Locker?
I did. I saw. So I get The Hurt Locker, Black Hawk Down, Zero Dark 30 all mixed up. I've seen them all within the last year. But no, I definitely saw The Hurt Locker. Yeah, that was I mean, all three of them are just harrowing performance. Zero Dark 30 is a little more like procedural because like they're just talking through the operation to get Bin Laden, and then obviously they perform it. But like Hurt Locker is just you're on the edge of your seat because you just don't know at any moment like what's going to happen. Because it's about the bomb squad in the Middle East.
The year that movie won Best Picture, I was watching the Oscars and I was like surprised that they gave it to that over Avatar because it was such a big budget, like so like innovative or whatever.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, "You should watch The Hurt Locker, you'll understand." And so I went and watched The Hurt Locker and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's why it won."
Yeah, the other funny thing about that is the director of The Hurt Locker is Catherine Bigelow,
right?
Who directed Point Break back in the day and a couple other movies.
And former wife.
She was married to James Cameron, who directed Avatar, and so obviously it's kind of a big deal that she beat her ex-husband for Best Picture. There are a couple movies here. Another couple movies I was happy to see made the list. Black Panther at 96. Minority Report.
Don't want to
94. What, Minority Report?
No, I love Minority Report. Black Panther. It's just another like Marvel movie. Like I don't. You know me. I like pretty much don't care about the Marvel movies.
I got you. I will say this is going to sound cliche. I will say it is a little better than your standard Marvel movie. I'll say. Michael Clayton at 93, really good movie with George Clooney there. Gladiator at 92. Was happy to see that one.
Gravity. Didn't see it. Don't want to see it.
Yeah, it's not high on my list. Are you surprised? I was a little surprised by this. They put the Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring on the list and not Return of the King.
No,
Were you surprised by that?
I think I understand that because I think that was probably the better movie, but the reason Return of the King won an Academy Award was it was like a comprehensive like
right.
The award was for the whole trilogy, but like I think Fellowship of the Ring was probably the better movie.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I don't know. I just found it surprising. My wife, this might be controversial. My wife's favorite is The Two Towers. Well, she likes
Helm's Deep.
The Two Towers the most out of all three. Right. Past Lives. I just recently watched for the first time. A beautiful film. I was happy to see that make the list. Right in front of Past Lives, Anchorman.
Also,
The Legend of Ron Burgundy. Also a great movie. I love Lamp. Everything Everywhere All at Once. It was a great movie from a few years ago.
Meh.
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
Great movie.
But what? Well, what's meh? Which one was meh?
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay.
My wife saw it and she
what else? Spotlight.
Yeah, that's kind of the subject matter seems like the kind of stuff that I don't want to like watch a movie about.
Yeah, it's a tough watch, I will say. It does because I recently rewatched it. It does give me hope that there are people out there who are competent in their job that can and will because the movie is more about the folks who uncovered the scandal. I mean, they do obviously go into details about things, but like, I took my takeaway from Spotlight was more about like these people did their job to the fullest extent and made somewhat of of a difference. Oppenheimer,
Great movie.
Good movie. Memento. I was really happy to see Memento was on the list. I didn't honestly. I thought if they're gonna leave a Nolan film off the list, that would probably be it. But I'm glad it got there.
Yeah, I was glad The Dark Knight made it.
Yeah, I figured it would. It culturally, it was a significant film, especially after the passing of Heath Ledger and all that. Best in Show. I was really happy to see that one make the list.
Can I read you a great tweet that I found about The Dark Knight?
Okay, go ahead.
It says, The Dark Knight becoming less beloved by a segment of film fans, especially Gen Z and younger, is utterly incomprehensible to the typical millennial mind. When it released in IMAX in 2008, most of us thought we saw God. It's an interesting indicator of changing tastes over time.
Yep. Boy, that's pretty somebody got their money's worth there.
Yeah.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Somebody's college education paid off there. I was also happy to see there were 2 Wes Anderson movies back to back. Royal Tenenbaums and Grand Budapest Hotel were both 21 and 22 respectively. Those are 2 of my favorite Wes Anderson films, so I was glad to see that. We talked about Wolf of Wall Street, No Country for Old Men, number 6. That was deserved, obviously, but kind of surprised it got that high. Have you seen Get Out?
I have not. That's another thing that I like. That's probably like would have been if I had like one more pick, that probably would have been in contention there too.
I've seen it. It's been a while. It's not my cup of tea movie, but it's very well done. And I was happy to see it got in top 10. So Mad Max Fury Road at number 11 was a bit surprising.
Yeah, I was a little surprised with that too. It seemed a little high.
I mean, I didn't hate the movie, but yeah, it just seemed like I didn't think folks would got that high on it. So, all right, buddy. I think we're gonna ready to sign off for the week here. We'll be back next week. Hope everybody in the States has a good 4th of July.
Yep.
This upcoming weekend. And we'll be back next week. We'll figure out something to
don't
talk
blow
about.
your fingers off like a certain defensive lineman.
Yeah, be careful out there, everybody.
Yeah.
Don't. We want to see everybody back safe and sound next week. But until then, happy football.
Happy football.
Yeah, don't lose any hitches, please.
And happy 4th.
And happy 4th. Yep, that too.